Welcome to the Bleedbigblue podcast, dedicated coverage of the New York Football Giants by your hosts, Marco, Trifecta, T. Merritt, and JBW. Dedicated. Welcome to the Bleedbigblue podcast, dedicated coverage of the New York Football Giants by your hosts, Marco, Trifecta, T. Merritt, and JBW.
What is going on, everyone? What is going on? Thank you for everyone that is in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me. It is May 9th. So nice we did the intro twice just to make sure everything is up and running and smooth. Let's see what we got. It's scary when the lines they're not jammed right off the bat, but hold on, here they come. Here they come. That's him.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Scary going solo, doing it solo.
Well, you were not really solo for what, the 5 seconds you played the intro, and
yes,
technically
exactly.
I was on that time. You just didn't put me on.
Tim.
Way to face your fears.
I'll do it. I just got to be prepared. I want to have like a little list of what to talk to, talk about, all those things.
Well, the nice thing is there's not a whole lot going on. Which is actually a good thing, because if, the more our players are in the news, the worse the season would be. So
yeah.
We're doing all right.
Just coming up with a title was ridiculous.
But I think your rumor of Odell signing his contract early, I think it's starting to take some getting some heat. I think Odell, I think I did take it as a hot take at one point, but I really do think he's going to get signed before the season starts, as far as the contract is concerned.
Do you want to let everyone know do you want to let everyone know what the rumor is? Maybe they don't know.
You know what? Go ahead. Let them know what the rumor you've heard on the streets. This has been Marco working on the streets.
The rumor is that Odell is a little strapped for cash at the moment, and he's waiting for a contract, and he's going to sign early. That's the rumor. That his Nike contract is over 10 years, and he has a few houses that he's renting out, and a couple car purchases and stuff like that. So it's a little tight at the moment.
Yeah, hey, if that's what it takes for us to get him signed, I'm all for it.
That's the rumor, by the way. That's not confirmed. Odell probably is fine. That's just straight rumor.
And I really don't believe that rumor, just because of the fact his godfather is Shaq. I don't think he's going to be. I think and Shaq's done pretty well with his money, so I think he would at least let him know who his money guy is. I would think. But, who knows? Kids don't only listen to their parents, so, or their elders, if you will. So
right.
Who knows? But hey,
sorry,
I don't care what happens. Let's get him signed, because honestly, the earlier we sign him, the cheaper we're going to get him. The longer we wait, he puts up a monster season, which is totally possible this coming season. We're going to be paying out the ass even more. We know we want him to sign, and Captain Negative's not here to argue about it. He's the best player of the Giants in a long time. Let's just get him signed. He doesn't get in trouble in the off season. Whatever. I don't care about the whole video. He didn't get in trouble. I'm good with it.
Mona is pretty critical of you, Tim. She's saying, let's see.
Wow.
That you agree with everything with James, and that when James is on, she turns off the podcast, and she's sick and tired of him. And is he even a Giants fan?
Wow, I agree with
Mona.
everything. Wow, Mona. Mona, I wish you could see the chats that me and James have throughout the year. Marco's privy to them, and so is Justin. We get in some arguments nonstop. Now, as far as the whole draft thing is, now James is taken to another level. But I was on the same page as James as far as take a quarterback or trade back. And I didn't believe in taking – and the same argument James yelled at everybody with was the same argument I came up with weeks before about, paying that much for a running back, the financial concerns. But the way I also look at it is this. If the worst thing's going to happen – the worst decision Giants are going to make is taking a really good player at number 2. I can deal with that. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I would personally love to trade back and got more players because I really think this team needs more depth. But the more the Saquon thing is sinking in, the more I'm getting excited of what this offense can look like. I really, I'm hoping this right tackle, Eric Flowers, takes care of itself, if it's either going to be him or Chad Wheeler, because I think that's going to be an issue, obviously going into the season, especially if Flowers doesn't have his head on straight. If our offense could be scary. Now, obviously that's dependent that we stay healthy, but the more playmakers we have, I think the healthier we're going to be because, honestly, everybody's got to get their touches. From Odell to Saquon to Evan Ingram to Sterling Shepard, everybody's got to get their touches. It was just pretty scary because no one can get focused on. And the only thing I'm really excited about the Saquon thing is I like ground and pound football. That's what I grew up Giants being. Ground and pound football and playing great defense. And I think we're getting back to that. Is it going to take a couple of years to where we're fully back to that? Yes. But we're on the way there. And I can see that just by the way Gettleman drafts. That definitely excites me.
Okay, so...
and I am a Giants fan, Mona.
Mona, are you still there? Did you bounce out? The problem is this is all on paper. I get nervous about paper teams. Especially, people talk about bringing in Dez and, oh, look, we're loaded. Coming as a Laker fan, I remember when they took in Gary Payton, when they took in Karl Malone, they had Dennis Rodman, they had Kobe, and the team was stacked. And you know what? They sucked.
Yeah, because you had all these stars at their end of their careers. You know who tries to do that all the time is New England. New England tried to take all these receivers literally at the last possible stage so they don't have to pay them. Hence, Ocho Cinco, Reggie Wayne, and none of them did anything. Randy Moss was the only one that did anything that they tried to pull that with, but he still had talent. He was just a head case. The New England got his head straight. But I'm with you as far as I understand the whole. This was the argument on Sunday. Was you got to prove it on the field because this is what I told James, and I don't know if he made the podcast or not. We were talking about how last season. Is he here? Yes.
No, it's
not. It's the other 717.
All right, awesome. This is what Justin. This is what I was saying to James. Maybe you heard it, maybe you didn't. At the end of the podcast, I go, James was so hurt by last season that he refuses to say anything positive going into this next season. Because if you go back last year's podcasts, James was really positive going into this coming season, or going into last year's season, and he was hurt. He doesn't want to get hurt again.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
They heard him bad.
Who was the commenter saying, James, where did they hurt you, James? Something like that. Where? I forget who it was.
Oh, God, yeah.
Here's the thing, though. So my neighbor in my condo complex is a Giants fan as well, and I saw him for the first time since the draft tonight in our parking lot. We got home at the same time. And I just asked him, how he felt about the Saquon pick. And he kind of glossed over it. And he was like, last year is probably the worst season that I can remember in a long while. And so I'm just excited for next year to be here and that we have another player that's worth rooting for. And, he said something about Eli that got me thinking. He's excited to see all of the weapons around Eli. And the way that he phrased it got me to thinking that, if you're the Giants and you're the season before last, we were in the playoffs with Eli as our quarterback. I can see why they didn't want to go full rebuild the first year with their 60-something-year-old GM. You know what I mean? And if you do go full rebuild, why, with all the needs that we have, why is the first piece the quarterback? Why? Why is the first piece the quarterback when you have all of these other needs and you can stock the shelves with talent where it's available and where it makes sense and get the quarterback a little bit later? You're still equipping that rookie quarterback, whoever he is, with talent that is top-notch. And so this idea that you have to grab the quarterback while you're sitting at 2, I'm not 100% in on it. I haven't been, but after my conversation tonight, I'm even more convinced.
Uh-oh. All right, let me get to the phone. 917. I think this is Ned. Is this Ned?
Yep.
Ned, what is on your mind?
Ned,
Speak to the people.
Where's the Ned Ryerson drop?
We need it.
What's up, Ned?
First and foremost, I think I've expressed this before, but I strongly disagree with Justin about the whole you can get by with a shit QB as long as they're surrounded by talent sort of attitude. But
wait, is Eli Manning a shit QB? Wait, hold on. Let's start there before you go any further. Is Eli Manning a shit QB?
No,
I never said that.
No, yeah. Hey, I was saying that is the attitude you have given repeatedly over and over and over again on this podcast, that you can take
That's not true.
bad to mediocre QB and it turn that into an amazing, thing with just good talent surrounding him, and I strongly disagree with that. I think what you try to pull out as an example is Foles, but you're not recognizing that the way Foles performed in his playoff games was not at the level of a mediocre or bad QB. But besides that, I was calling in to ask you guys about did you guys see the tweet from Snacks?
No. What'd I miss?
No.
I do love Snacks Twitter. I'm going to address it on the internet.
Is that about the top 100?
Let's go ahead.
Well, he graduated college finally, so,
that I
congrats
knew.
on him. And he also apparently was very angry about the fact that he didn't make it onto the top 100. And I'll find the exact quote right here. Give me a sec. But
I did hear something about that this morning.
Yeah, he was not happy, to say the least.
That top
that's why I love Snacks. He gets that that chip on his shoulder, which just makes him play even better.
Oh, I
love Snacks, but did he watch any of the games last year? He played well, but how many wins did he have?
Honestly, he literally graded out as a top run stuffing defensive tackle again.
He was like the only. I shouldn't say the only, but he was one of the few guys on our defense who never gave up and probably deserved it. Here we go. I will remind every lineman we play this year while I'm whipping their ass that they didn't vote for me. Blame it on the top 100. So don't ask me, what's your problem, man? You should already know. When the list comes back, y'all hands going to shake when you think of me.
And I love that. And that's why I love Snacks. And
that's what he needs to do there.
You know what? You know what? And I got I was talking with someone else, and they made a good point. Snacks might actually be going up against Quentin Nelson when we go and play Indiana, and that will certainly be something interesting to watch and see how that performs, because that's going to be a battle, I think.
Oh, it'll 100% be a battle, but let's be straight. Quentin Nelson's awesome, but he's still a rookie. And Harrison's been battling people for a long time. And,
no doubt.
And the thing is, I love the way Snacks is. Honestly, I think Landon Collins gets the same kind of chip on his shoulder, and that's the kind of guy that I even think Ogletree is going to be like that as well. As far as getting these chips on the shoulder, that's what I want. And going back to what Justin was talking about, as far as I don't believe we had to go into full scale rebuild, because how do we go from thinking we're a Super Bowl team to getting we just had a catastrophe of injuries this past season. Plus obviously we had McAdoo as well, who added on top of that.
Well,
and then
I'm really
who did it? Yeah.
Shermer is able to change that up. But I will point out that when the season before, when we were all thinking, hey, well, we're going to go to the Super Bowl, but a lot we did sort of ignore just how close some of those games we managed to barely.
If you ever look through the years, there's very few years where even Super Bowl years, even years we were dominating, we don't blow out people. We never have. A big win for the Giants is a 14-point win. And that's a big win for us. We aren't New England. We don't deserve we aren't New England who tries to run up the score. And,
I think it's incorrect.
You think it's
I would like us to actually be able to finish the game. I think it might save us quite a few years of our lives, assuming that we managed to get old enough to have heart problems. Because, geez, man, talk about making a nail biter out of unnecessary games, man. That's one thing that's always frustrated me about the Giants. They never just put that nail in the coffin, you know?
Well, that's one thing with that is, sometimes we had overachieving teams. And honestly, that's the way Eli is. Eli is a risk-reward quarterback. He always has been, always will be. He's willing to take the chances, and sometimes the risks bite you in the ass. But there's a reason that Eli has so many comebacks in his career, because in the fourth quarter, there's very few quarterbacks, that you would rather have the football in their hands than Eli Manning.
Because the reason for that, Tim, is because he's a Manning. Like, cerebrally, Eli's still at the top, I think. I think some of the things that you see him do in terms of mistakes that he ultimately ends up making is because he knows, specifically last year, like, if he didn't make a play, once Beckham was out, if he didn't make a play, no one was going to make a play for him. So I think he continually, puts himself in positions where he has faith in himself, and he should as an NFL starting quarterback. But, from just a pure talent standpoint, some of the skills are starting to erode just a little bit. So he can't make the plays that he used to make, but you also can't blame him for being a playmaker when you have, again, I want to remind everybody, our starting running back last year, Orleans Darkwa, not signed by anybody at this point. Like, how long ago was free agency? He's still available.
Exactly.
Nobody
And, not only does nobody want him, he's going to be like a second or third down, or second or, third on the depth chart, or whoever he signs with anyway.
Right.
That's because he just had surgery. That's why he's not signed.
Whatever.
He had surgery.
You know what?
I'm
going to tell you right now, I was never a Darkwa guy in the first place. Does he run tough? Sure. But you know what? After he runs tough, he runs tough one play, then he's out the next. So you know what? Give me Wayne Gallman. I'll take that. I'll take that all day. I think Wayne. You know what? The funny thing is, no one's going to talk about it, but there's going to be motivation with Saquon Barkley coming in, with Wayne Gallman, and even let's hope, and there's no guarantee, Paul Perkins are like, oh crap, we have no spot guaranteed on this roster. We better step it up. Now, you would think Paul Perkins would have thought that last year when he was going into the season as the starter, and we were actually excited about the percolator. We didn't realize that he would. But after that, we realized that he didn't want to percolate, and he didn't actually work in the off season at all on his craft. But I also blame that on Ben McAdoo when Paul Perkins looked like garbage all preseason, but still was the starter week one. Ben McAdoo has. I try not to go back on Ben, but Ben really frustrated me with the fact is his talent evaluation and his refusal to adjust his scheme to the talent that he had infuriated me. But you know what? Ben, you're gone. You're gone. Release the demons.
Congratulations.
You know what? Because
you played yourself.
Not even Cleveland picked him up.
Exactly. And now that Shermer's in, we have somebody that's actually known for doing exactly the opposite of what Ben McAdoo does. He adjusts his offensive scheme to the talent that he has. And he's known for, using the talent in the best way possible. And that's all I ask. Because I think we have talent on this team. I know we have talent on this team. I know this team could still retool, and still win while we are rebuilding. We are, other than Eli Manning, this team is young as shit.
Oh, I completely agree. I think realistically, the goal for this year should be a wild card spot. You know, obviously you want to set goals higher, but just like the realist in me says, a wild card spot if everything goes right, and we don't have like catastrophic injuries to get it.
Don't let James hear you say that now. Don't let James hear you say that now.
He just hurt. He's hurt from last year, guys. You know, it's I don't know what the Giants did to him, but they really hurt him last year, and he just can't deal with it.
What it really is, and this is the truth. You know, he, in addition to being hurt last year, in this off season, I don't think the Giants have made one move that he wanted. They didn't bring in the GM that he wanted. They didn't bring in the head coach that he wanted. He thought they overpaid Bersolder, and he wanted a quarterback. He was beating the drum so hard for a quarterback. And I told him 2 weeks before the draft, I said on this podcast, go back and listen to the tape. I said, you're setting yourself up for heartbreak if they don't take your guy, and that's what's happened.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I think you're absolutely right. But, you know, I keep thinking about the quarterback things. I was with him on it. The one thing that opened up my eyes to it is, do you guys really think, okay, the way the order seems to have went, well, the way the order did go in the draft, but did we want Baker Mayfield as our quarterback? I mean, honestly, it sounds like no one was sold on it. It sounds like nobody was sold on him, on any of the quarterbacks. And you know, if there's no way you had conviction about one of these quarterbacks, or they would have got him. Let's be honest, they would have got him.
The more I see Lauletta, the more I think, given time to develop and in a competition with Davis Webb, which I think would be a good thing. I think will be a good thing for both of them. I think one of the two could come out and at least, if not be a franchise quarterback, at least be that, like, decent enough sort of QB that you could be good. Like,
yeah, I understand what you're saying. The bridge to the next star.
Hold on. But Ned, and you know I love you. I gave you your nickname. You're my favorite. Yeah. You're my favorite continual caller. But what did you say? What did you say on the way in here? You came in here guns blazing, pointing at me, saying you can't win with a shitty quarterback. Now, I've never said that either. What I've said was
that's all I'm going to say.
What I've said was exactly what you just said, which is you don't have to spend a top 5 pick on a quarterback to find a successful quarterback.
To find,
and I think the point that you're making.
I think I've got to. Let me clear up this right now. Let me nip this in the bud. When I say good enough, I mean some like a game manager. Obviously, you might find the diamond in the rough, the top, the next Tom Brady, so to speak. You might find your next star, and if Davis Webb or Lauletta turn out to be that 1 in a million late round QB that turns out to be amazing, I will be ecstatic. But realistically, I'm saying that they would be someone that you could, you wouldn't be looking like the Browns, is what I'm saying. We wouldn't be like.
I know what you're saying.
You could turn on.
Exactly. We don't want to go through 20 starters, and I understand what he's saying as far as Cleveland, because Cleveland still hasn't. They're not their next starter. We'll see if Baker actually takes it.
He will
takes
never go through 20 starters.
But I agree with that as well. But I want to tell you right now, everything I keep reading on Davis Webb, guys. I mean, how can't you love this guy? I was just reading Eli talking about Davis Webb literally like a day or two ago, and he's like, Eli Manning said that Davis Webb's pretty much stealing his seat in the film room. He's like, he's getting there before I am now, and pretty much stealing my seat.
So Lollymac brings up. Let's see. Did you guys listen to Ernie Accorsi on the Talk of Fame podcast talking about Barkley and Kyle Luletta? He's ecstatic. He wanted the Giants to grab Luletta in the third round and thinks that he's the biggest steal of the draft. How do you feel about that?
Well, honestly, guys, every mock draft I saw with Luletta, he was going in the second round, and he was going to New England. I mean, I think Luletta had New England Patriots all over him. It was just one of those picks that just sounded like a Patriots pick. And the fact that we got him, I'm cool with it. I'm definitely cool with it. And I did see, of course, he pumped about the Barkley pick.
I think Luletta and Davis Webb might be able to help each other iron out their problems. Or weaknesses, I should say, because when it comes to Davis Webb, what I've heard and what I'm sure everyone else has heard is that the kid knows everything about everyone and is just constantly, watching and, learning about the people he's going to play against. Well, I mean, that when he comes onto the field, we'll know whether or not his success will be due to. We know it'll be due to natural ability combined with knowing that stuff, and
that's absolutely what the preseason is going to be about.
If he fails, we'll know that it's not because he doesn't know his stuff. It's because he just doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't have talent.
Yeah, and then
that's exactly what I'm. This preseason, I'm excited as hell. I don't want to see Eli even in the damn preseason. I don't even see him get injured. Davis Webb and Luletta should be taking over this whole damn preseason. And I want to see, what kind of talent we got with both of them.
I agree. This is like the one time where I'm actually just super excited about the preseason coming up. I was excited to maybe see Davis Webb, but realistically, I thought maybe not until the later games. But I think Luletta and Davis Webb could be going in, will be going in the first game. One of them will be, so we'll be able to see what they'll be like. And
I'll take it a step further. Hear me now, and listen to me later. The Eli Manning should not play in the preseason because of a positional glut there. Let those guys battle it out. Let them, try to prove something to each other, and let them build their stock up across the league. And then Saquon Barkley shouldn't play. I don't need to see him in the preseason. Not for one snap. And I definitely.
Well, you're gonna steal for more than that, but I understand what you're saying.
Eli and Saquon are going to play half a game. That's just there's going to be half a game where it's like for the first half they put in the starters just so that they've warmed up or something like that. I think that's what's going to happen. But after that half game, I don't think I need to see anything else.
Let them bring in Saquon and Odell and Eli for the first half of the game against the Jets. Let them show Sam Darnold what it means to take a snap under center. That's right, Sam. If you're listening, we don't want you to call in because you suck. Just like my boy Roger Lewis.
I don't think you suck, Sam. You know what? I stick up for my redheaded brethren out there, and Sam's one of us. And you know what, Sam? I don't wish you ill will. I wish you were a Giant, actually, but you're a Jet, so.
So there's that.
I'm going to Sam Darnold, the human being. I appreciate, and I think he's good and nice. Sam Darnold, the player, I now have to hate with a burning passion because he's on the Jets. So that's how I'm taking Sam Darnold.
Well said. Well said.
Well, Ned, are you still got your issue with Josh Rosen or what?
Yes.
As a player and as a person.
Yes.
Do you think he went too high at 10?
No.
Oh yeah.
No, I actually think Arizona made the right move because if there was any place that he might actually have a shot at doing something and improving a franchise, it would be Arizona. I think Arizona made a wise move in that choice. I just don't think that I think Arizona is going to be coming back to the QB well earlier than they think they will.
Wow. Still hating on Josh Rosen. You know what? Rosen was the one. He was talking to all you guys when he got drafted at 10. He was all pissed off, which makes me laugh. How are you a top 10 pick, and you're all pissed off that you had to wait that long? It made me laugh during the draft.
My favorite draft response of all time was Lamar Jackson, who said with Deion Sanders that he's taking the Ravens to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? He's going to be learning behind the elite Joe Flacco. That's a joke. That's a joke in case you did.
Boo.
Do you guys not know about the elite Joe Flacco meme?
That's a mutable offense.
Wow. He's in the Cleveland area. He eats at Baltimore.
It's a joke about just how completely average he is.
You know, I wouldn't say he's average, but nah, he's done. And once he got his money, he's done. But every time you guys hear Lamar Jackson, tell me he just sounds. And I hope he's not. Actually, I love watching him play. He sounds like he's dumb as shit.
Well, I mean, he did get a 13 on whatever that test was.
The Wonderlic?
That they do for the cute, yeah.
Well, the Wonderlic is what it is. You know, that's just for quick thinking. But
yeah,
obviously, he shows it on the field. But Lamar Jackson, he just sounds like he's a dumbass. Now he might not be. I hope he's not.
Have you guys taken the Wonderlic?
No, I haven't.
We should take the Wonderlic on
the guy
show.
wanted to give it to us last time on the show, remember?
Who wanted to give it to us?
I had a copy of some guy sent me. He wanted us to take the test or regarding to the Wonderlic. This is last year.
Oh God, I don't want to sit there and let the crowd know how stupid I am.
We should have Todd read the questions.
No, you know what? That's an intern. I think we need to know what our Wonderlic scores are on the interns. They both need to take the test.
Wait, it's not just straight questions, right? They have like drawings and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of questions. It's supposed to make it to where you can't focus on just one, really one part of your brain kind of thing. It's supposed to jumps around time.
They're all multiple choice questions. Like they want you to be able to look for patterns and answer things quickly.
Exactly. But hey, it's all good. You know what? Draft's over, guys, and we're looking up as far as I'm concerned.
I want to say,
what do you guys think about Collins? In terms of obviously there was he had already done the Eli Apple as a cancer thing, which I don't necessarily fault him too much for, but after this thing with Flowers, I have to wonder if maybe he's got a bit of loose lips with the media, and maybe Gettleman and Shermer should just keep him a little bit away, or give him some advice. Make him take a trip or something.
I don't have a problem with Landon Collins. Listen, he's the leader of that defense, and quite honestly, Eli Apple needed to be bitch slapped at the end of last year, and that's what Landon Collins did, and that's what he should do as the captain of the defense.
I agree, and that's why I said I was okay with him doing the Apple one. It's the one with Flowers. I'm not sure
You're not okay with Flowers?
That actually benefits.
Well, there's a lot. Obviously, we don't know everything. We're not in the locker room, but it sounds like Flowers is an asshole too. Now, it might have just been all the criticism got to him, and I can understand that. Honestly, I think Flowers has talent. It's not his fault that we overdrafted him. It's not his fault that we put him in, we put him in a position to lose. So he should have been the right tackle the whole time.
Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah. Yeah. And, the funny thing is, someone was talking about all the tackles we could sign. I was reading this article, and they actually mentioned William Beatty as a tackle we could sign. I was like, get the hell out of here. He's the one that ruined Eric Flowers for us in the first place with his shoulder injury that lasted 3 years.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, guys. We're gonna be okay. As far as Landon Collins running his mouth to the media, who cares? As far as I'm concerned, if you're acting like a fool in the locker room, I have no problem with the media finding out about it. Especially when we're 3-13. Now, if you're gonna go and bitch to the media and we're in a playoff race, that's a whole nother story. But he's also one of those guys that wears his heart on his sleeve kind of thing. So it's you can catch him getting pissed off. You're gonna catch him saying something. That's just the way he is.
Yeah, all I'm saying is maybe just Gettleman could pull him aside and say a word or two with him about it. I'm not that terribly concerned about it. Again, as I said, the Apple one I'm completely fine with. It's just I don't know exactly what the benefit would be of calling out Flowers because, it's obvious that he's pouting in some way, shape, or form, and he's been trolled to shit. I don't think that publicly, like, calling him out is going to do anything. And, I mean, at this point, he's gotten so much shit, he's probably completely desensitized to it.
Well, obviously he's not, because from what I heard, what he's all mad about is Nate Solder getting paid to take his position.
Oh, I know. I know.
That's what he's,
well, if
that's
he's
what
mad
he's
about
all,
that, then he's an idiot.
I was like, you know what, dude, just win the position. Because obviously you already know the Giants don't think highly of you. They didn't pick up your fifth-year option. So guess what? You better start working.
The one thing I could think of that would actually give him a justifiable reason was if he thought that something along the lines of, I put in so much work to adapt to this spot, and I felt like I was finally getting it. Because I mean, I do think.
Oh, you know what? You only get 3 years.
Last year.
You get 3 years. You know what?
Yeah.
And the one thing that, again, is not his fault. Jerry and Ben, I'm talking to you guys. You didn't give anybody competition. The one thing I like with what Gettleman's doing, everybody has competition at every position. Flowers isn't even guaranteed a spot on the starting line. He's going to be fighting with Chad Wheeler and probably somebody else if we bring somebody else in. Which pissed me off because I saw that Austin Howard got signed by the Colts. So I wanted him to get signed for the right tackle spot. But whatever. If Chad Wheeler wins it, good for him. But there's competition all over the place. Like the quarterback spot, other than Janoris Jenkins and Eli Apple, 3 through 8 that's a whole competition between all those corners. And there's a lot of corners that he brought in for competition. And honestly, with all these rookies coming in, a lot of these defensive tackles and DNs are going to be working their ass off because there's going to be some cuts going on. There's going to be a whole lot more linebackers getting stayed at, or they're going to stay on this team than defensive linemen.
I also think that there's a chance that a few of the undrafted free agents might be able to provide some good, at least a competition, if not like depth at some of those areas, because I know at least in terms of linebacker, I'm still incredibly nervous because B.J. Goodson is prone to injury, and anyone else gets injured, and that could, any other linebacker also getting injured could be an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, and I'm with you with that. I totally understand. And honestly, for a team to have any kind of depth, especially with the salary cap era, you need to do well on the under that free agent market. And from what I've seen, they've done pretty well. And a couple guys that you should know, especially offensive line wise. Nick Gates, offensive lineman from Nebraska. He's going to be fighting for that right tackle spot. And Evan Brown is probably going to be backing up Bretton Jones as the backup center. And that guy's a center from SMU who was a 4-year starter, who had like a 4th or 5th round grade that we ended up getting as an undrafted free agent. So that's pretty solid. And, there's other people out there that, could make moves. You always got to look at who's the first ones to sign, who's the first ones who were getting calls. Like Sean Chandler, the safety from Temple, was like one of the first ones to sign the undrafted free agent market with us. So obviously they like him. So, let's see what he can do. And they signed a few receivers. But, we have enough undrafted free agent receivers in our depth chart, so I don't know who's going to stay and who's not.
I mean, seriously, can we just start auctioning off the practice wide receivers to other teams or anything?
Well,
we've got such a surplus at that position.
Yeah, we do. But the thing is, you saw, I think Giants pretty much know from last year, they saw what happened when we got injuries on the wide receiver, at the wide receiver spot. They saw what happened when who were we starting at cornerback, week 16, week 15?
Oh, God.
I had to look up guys, so I had no idea who they were. And I'm pretty deliberate at looking at the roster. I was literally had to be like, who the hell is that? What number is that? And when did he get that number? And it'd be guys they signed a week or two before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's the stuff that I don't think. That's why so many corners did get signed. I think that's why so many, wide receivers are going to be in camp, because we need more depth than what we had this past year.
Well, it's just in general in terms of positions, and I think, well, I don't think, I know this is because of how Jerry Reese decided to go about doing his drafts. Well, we have some areas where, in terms of depth, we're really not all that bad in. In fact, we might be as close to really good as possible. But then there's others that are completely neglected and are 1 to 2 injuries away from being an absolute nightmare.
Yeah. And I totally, I'm with you, man. You know what, Ned? One thing I don't think we ever asked you, and for curiosity's sake, what you feel about the Saquon Barkley pick?
Oh.
Really torn. And a lot of it's going to depend on what happens in the future. I'm going to give Gettleman the benefit of the doubt because of, the rest of the draft. He showed he could pick extremely well. And I'm going to trust him and give him the benefit of the doubt that
trust the
Saquon
process,
Barkley
baby.
was just that much better. But if there are other QBs that turn out to be Pro Bowlers, I mean, Barkley's going to need to not only be an excellent running back, but also excellent at blocking and excellent in the receiving aspect of that to even come close to being as valuable as those other QBs that, again, if they go to the Pro Bowl and they're not named Baker Mayfield, that might be something that we live to regret. I don't know. I'm going to give Gettleman the benefit of the doubt and say, come back to me in a few years and we'll see what it looks like then.
And now certain people are on the show right now. Yeah.
Hot take. Put it on the board. Put this as a drop, Marco. Start recording right now. Hot take.
Yeah.
Giants will have a Pro Bowl quarterback on their team that is not Eli Manning before any quarterback drafted in this class makes the Pro Bowl.
Wow.
Mark
it down.
Wait. Time out. Are you saying that only Davis Webb because Loletta will be in this class?
Wow.
No, I'm saying I'm saying the Giants will have a Pro Bowl quarterback not named Eli Manning. Give me the field of Giants quarterbacks either on the roster or not yet on the roster to make the Pro Bowl before any quarterback drafted in the first round of this draft.
All right.
Wow, that is literally throwing up a Hail Mary right there, Justin. That is tough because these guys, all the first round quarterbacks, Baker Mayfield's probably going to be starting
man.
soon.
Oh, yeah.
I believe it. Because, listen.
Oh, my God.
If any one of these quarterbacks was that great, they would have been the unquestioned number one. Nobody had any freaking clue about.
Yeah, that's what's really bothering about the whole thing is like no one had anybody. There was no clear cut one. There was no clear cut two. There was no order.
That's
like
not
any
true.
order could go, and that really makes it weird.
Give us
and if Baker Mayfield
That's
was
not true.
If we had the number one pick and we took Baker Mayfield, I would have snapped.
Oh, my God.
Because I'm not saying Baker Mayfield's not good. And he's got talent. The thing is, he is accurate.
That's
but
what she says.
there's a lot more risk taking him than taking somebody that's the quote-unquote prototypical, has the arm strength and all that other stuff, and has the size. So you're taking an undersized quarterback that runs a lot, but he's not that fast. So what he was running in college, guess what? He's not going to be doing in the pros. It's just tough for me to even. I would have snapped if Baker Mayfield was the pick. I would have snapped like James snapped when it was Saquon Barkley, but worse.
All right. Well, guys, I have to head out. I've got to.
I know it's not your bedtime, Ned.
All right, Ned. Get your 12 hours.
Sweet dreams, Ned. Love you.
Nope.
Long live the shitty quarterback.
You know what? Here's the thing, Justin. Everybody must keep saying, you know what? You got to wait 5 years to see, who's going to win this draft. I don't agree with that. Because,
I don't agree with it either.
Because you could rebuild the whole damn team in 5 years. One draft is not going to completely destroy your team. Now, there's going to be misses. There might be, who knows? I mean, it could be Kyle Lauletta was the hit of this draft and Saquon Barkley was the bust. Who
First
knows?
Pro Bowler, Kyle Lauletta.
You don't know. I mean, you could take educated guesses, but you know what? You just draft. That's why the thing I like about Goodman, he just drafted the best players. And from what I heard, everybody I keep reading on said Giants killed this draft. Every analyst said Giants killed this draft. We took the best running back. We took one of the top, I would say, 5 offensive linemen.
Oh yeah. Well, did you hear?
First of all, Gettleman was trying to trade back into the second round to get Lorenzo Carter, and we still got Lorenzo Carter. And getting Kyle Lauletta was a huge get in itself. When I saw him, he was going second round. Granted, I'm still not sold on taking a quarterback, especially who's going to be number 3. There's almost a thing where I almost feel bad for Davis Webb, who's working his ass off, to where it's pretty much like, hey, Davis, guess what?
No need to feel bad for Davis
Kyle.
Webb, our guy.
Huh?
No need to feel bad for Davis Webb. He's going to get that job.
Put my mic on!
Welcome,
Todd. He loves the Davis Webb.
Yes,
And
I do.
I like Davis Webb as well. I can't even, the way he works, man, it's ridiculous.
I never said that.
Todd,
Yeah, what's
did you
up?
hear my hot take?
Did I hear your what?
My hot take.
Here's hot take.
Your hot take? I did not. What's going on?
My hot take is that the Giants will have a Pro Bowl quarterback not named Eli Manning before any quarterback taken in the first round of this draft
Pro
makes
Bowl?
the Pro Bowl.
I'd have to agree with that. I'd have to agree with your hot take. But if you want to make it a little more accurate, you should say a quarterback not named Eli Manning but also named Webb will have a Pro Bowl before.
Well, we're going to see, man. Caloletta and Davis Webb are going to have a battle this come preseason.
Well, I won't lie to you, though. I was watching a lot of tape on Caloletta, and as much as I'm a Webb guy, you guys, I don't think I need to exactly explain how much of a Webb guy I am anymore. But as much as I am, I personally think we have two gems. I really do. I think we're holding on to two gems right now. Because I think Colorado's got it, man. He's got some. Are you
firm with that decision?
But I'm very firm with this decision. I think both these guys have great
I'll just slip it in.
I applaud your use of the word gem.
Thank you.
Tell her.
That's what she says.
And that's another guy, guys, that went a lot. We got B.J. Hill. He was supposed to go in the second round as well.
We got him in the fourth, fifth.
No,
That's
we
what
got
she
he was
says.
a second, third round pick. We got B.J. Hill and Lorenzo Carter.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot there were 2 third-round picks.
That's
My
what she
B.
says.
It's all right, man. It's all right.
Right. We're going to hit the lines up again. Ready?
I don't think I've ever been this excited for a preseason before. And I'm not even that. I'm so excited because I just want to see Barkley. I want to see Laletta and Webb, and I want to see Carter and B.J. Hill. I haven't been this excited for a preseason time.
Captain Negative's in the building.
I might be fooled. Hold on. I think this is him. I'm forgetting his number. 717. What's up?
Yeah, not negative tonight. Not negative tonight.
Not tonight, he says.
Not tonight,
negative.
gentlemen. Not negative.
He's like, I just smoked a bunch of weed and I'm feeling good.
No, that's not it at all.
Captain, calm down.
That's not at all, handsome. Not it at all.
I know.
Tim knows.
I know what it is.
Tim knows what it is.
I know what it's about. You know what?
I'll just slip
Tim
it
knows
in.
what it is. Tim has a good sense.
I know what it's
Progress,
about.
progress,
I'll
Tim.
just slip it in.
It's fine.
The Celtics closed it out.
Celtics have closed it out, and I don't know if you guys were paying attention, but the Yanks came back and nipped the Sox.
I saw Judge Homer.
I'm just trying to trust the process.
It's been a very good evening over here in Captain Negative Land. That's right. How's the Big Blue Blow Fest going?
Well, first of all, I'm going to tell you right now, there was a certain commenter that says her name was Mona, and she says I agree with you too much.
That who agrees with you?
I agree with you.
That you agree with me? So
yeah,
Mona, you know what? Enough of these fans talking shit. Like, call in and put your money where your mouth is. Mona.
How often do we agree?
I'll just slip it in.
Mona, please call in.
Yeah, Mona. Get on the line. I'd love her on a 5-minute interview with
He's
Mona.
looking for love. He loves Mona. He loves long walks on the beach.
Relax, Todd. Relax, Todd.
Tim was looking for a life partner, not just a girlfriend.
Fucking guy puts gel on his palms.
Captain Negative.
Oh my God!
Fucking Todd. Todd feeling bold.
Did you hear my hot take?
No, I didn't hear anybody's hot take because I'm trying to.
Shame.
Yeah. I can't take it. I'm trying to seclude myself from you fucking big blue blowhards that are drinking the Kool-Aid and loving it. I really am.
Oh God.
I'm trying to stay away from the. I just heard Todd say he's extremely excited for preseason.
I am.
Yeah.
You can tell he hasn't hit puberty yet.
Hit the field, man. I just want to see Webb and Barkley and Carter on the field.
Are you not entertained?
You know, so it's just funny. Nobody learned their lesson last year, so it's just I'm going to sit back and I'm going to judge them based on what happens in the season, not based off what they did in the off season, like we all did last year, and ended up looking like more.
We're going to be awesome if we go 4-0 in the preseason. I just want to see if my new players are talented.
No, you don't find out in preseason, Todd. All you do in preseason, no, you don't. You in preseason, you cross your fingers and pray that nobody gets hurt. That's it. You find absolutely nothing out in preseason.
Guys, I was using Lorenzo Carter in Madden 18, and he was killing it for me, so he's going to be be. Don't worry about it.
That's it. Look it.
He was killing it. So
that's it. Put a gold jacket on him. He made him. He made him. He went to create a player. He looked up his specs, and he made them. All 99s. This guy's going to be great.
No, he's not all 99. He was like 75 overall with like
this guy's
development.
This guy's going to be awesome.
Like you made Lorenzo Carter?
He definitely edited him.
I didn't. He was only like 75 overall, and he had like 20 sacks in the season. That was great. So, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, 20 sacks in the season.
Yep.
Go back.
So, we worked on
first of all, put it up a level. Jesus.
Tim, I think, Tim, you need to, maybe Mona needs to, does she agree with Todd?
It's bad. I'm playing all bad. It's bad.
Hold on. We have a caller. Ready?
I'm just curious to know what Mona has a problem with.
If it's not Mona,
ODB,
please.
I was close. What's going on? What's on your mind?
Hello.
Going one.
Mona?
Yeah.
There?
I scared away.
Mona, what's up?
He dropped.
Okay.
Well,
can I give James my hot take?
Okay,
yeah, give James hot take. James is here hot take.
This is my hot take.
I can't wait till you get mad.
You can't even make me mad tonight because we're playing with the dealer's money in Celtic land. Come on, tell me. Let me see how delusional you've got.
The Giants will have
Captain Negative.
The Giants will
have
what?
a Pro Bowl quarterback not named Eli Manning before any quarterback taken in the first round of this year's draft takes the Pro Bowl.
Sure. Boom.
Never heard him laugh like that.
Oh,
I didn't know your lungs were capable of laughter, man.
That's a unique take.
Congratulations. How does laughing feel for the first time?
That's a unique take.
Mark
Holy
it down.
Shit, bro. Justin, hey man.
For the first time.
Just wait for the fences on that one.
Oh my God. All right. I don't even know what to say to that. If that's what you think, bro. If that's what the film tells you, if that's what you think, then you know what? Tip of the cap. I don't know.
I'll give the intern a few points for how does laughing feel. That's hysterical.
Yeah. James,
Todd's feeling bold for some reason. He's got a hard on for me. He's got a fat head on me up on his rope.
Oh, hold on, James. Hold on.
I'll just slip it in.
I want you to repeat after me. It's not your fault.
No, it is my fault.
No, it's not your fault.
No, it is fucking Matt Damon. What the fuck you think you're talking to?
It's not your fault.
James, I'm glad you're called in because I wanted to ask you a question. This is for James.
Of course it is.
I know you're a fantasy football guy.
Uh-huh.
You are so in on fantasy football. You put me to shame.
Go ahead.
Play the drop.
I know what you're going to tell me.
Last year.
I don't have it.
Odell Beckham ranked 7th overall.
Odell, what's with you, Odell?
Saquon Barkley ranked 10th overall. Your thoughts?
Oh, I think that's insane. I have Barkley ranked 4th overall in PPR leagues. Non-PPR leagues.
I got Barkley in top 10 at least.
You played.
I got Barkley in the top 4 in non-PPR leagues, and the reason is, guys, you don't have a defense. So you're going to have a lot of checkdowns in PPR leagues, gentlemen. You're going to see a lot of sloppy yards because you got a defense that's not very good. So
congratulations.
When you put those two things together, Barkley becomes very attractive. It's like having a Camaro.
Yeah, and Kamara just went up because Mark Ingram just got suspended for first 4 games.
So, I mean, when you get a guy like that, when you get a guy that's going to not only give you the rushing yards, probably be the goal line back, and then he's going to catch a bunch of checkdowns like that, especially if you consider he's going to catch a bunch of checkdowns, and they're going to find ways to get him the ball via the passing game, regardless of if they're losing. But if the defense is as questionable as a lot of people think it may be, then, except the Giant fans, that is. But, people in the know who actually see that there may be holes in the depth in this defense during the 16-game season. If you're losing, there's a lot of checkdowns to be caught. So we'll see.
All right, guys.
Fantasy-wise, phenomenal.
I just wanted to call in and say hey to everybody. I'll see you later.
Later.
All right, talk to you later.
All right, later, guys.
It's not your fault.
I've been dying to play one clip, and I can't get it in there.
What is it?
That's what she said. I just want to slip it in at the right time.
It'll come.
Now, are you using that word that you found?
Don't force it.
I just set you right up for it. Unbelievable.
You did set me up for it. I wasn't looking for that one, though.
I set you right up. There's a little lob for you.
A little throw up there.
I want to know why Mona. We got to find out why Mona. Reply back to her, and we got to figure out why she doesn't want you to agree with it.
No, now
she just doesn't like the fact that I agreed with you.
Now she's busting. Oh, there he goes.
Did she specifically say? Did she say what?
I agreed with you too much. She said Tim agrees with James too much.
Oh well.
And
it can't be that. It can't be that. Despite the fact that we're diehard Giant fans, and we want the team to be exceptionally good, this guy who actually looks at it from a realistic standpoint, fuck him. Wow, that guy's objective and put a lot of thought into that, and it actually makes sense. I think we should tell him we hate him.
Hashtag Negative Nation.
Yeah, Negative Nation, baby. We're out. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't afraid of this big blue snowflake.
By the way,
and we'll call a spade a spade. If this team comes out and they play well, we're gonna call it, and we'll be right there with you. We'll be cheering, but we're not gonna say last year, man, we did all of this. We didn't look at it objectively. We didn't see the holes.
We got new
look what
T-shirt.
Happened. We got Negative Nation.
No, you got a new T-shirt. Don't be a big blue snowflake.
Don't be a big blue snowflake. Hashtag Negative Nation on the back of it.
Oh,
and then I want another one that says, "What's your problem, Mona?"
Mona says she's still here.
Hey, Miss Mona. What's your beef? Like, what did he? Like, what did he agree? What did you agree with me on, Tim? That was so that deserved a comment.
I think it was Sunday. I think it was Sunday. She was talking about Sunday.
Was it the Sunday I had a mental breakdown?
We're actually. If anybody listens to the show on Sundays, it's usually me and James, and we're actually way more chill on Sunday.
There was one Sunday I went off like a banshee, though, after the whole draft thing. I think I went off like I was out in public, and I think people were like, "Wow, that guy's escaped." But yeah, I was fired up. So it wasn't.
I would challenge Mona. Mona, if you think that Tim and James agree on everything, you should be subject to our group chat.
Yeah. Tim. Tim's right along with you guys with the Kool-Aid sometimes. Sometimes I'm able to get to Tim's alter ego before he went to camp and lost his soul.
Oh, yeah.
I like to troll.
There it is.
James. I like to troll James.
Oh, yeah.
And I like and Marco knows it. Marco knows I like to stir the pot a little bit. I like to get him pissed off.
You're not getting me pissed off. You get me. See, when you start that shit. See, that's the thing about like the trolls and the people that try to troll me. Like all you do is I'm like what? I look at it like I'm already mad at whatever I'm mad at. So when you make your troll comment, you're not going to get me more mad. I'm just going to be like, what the fuck is wrong with this person? And why would they say such a thing like this? This is not funny. This is not a time to be funny. This is a time to be serious.
Well, that's the thing. It makes me laugh. So I like to just put a word in there, a word that I know would just are going to get you going. Marco knows I do it. Marco calls it out every time I do it.
Oh, the ribbon.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
According to Mona.
I want to talk about Odell Beckham's financial problems.
Hey, if you get the sign,
so I thought, are we allowed to? Because if you talk honestly about stuff, some people may not like it.
It's a rumor.
But the financial,
allegedly.
Let's say
Let's
allegedly.
talk.
So allegedly, he spends $80,000, or what is it? Is it $80,000? Is that the number?
I heard.
I don't know what he did. I read that he's broke, and I pretty much just laughed.
It was $80,000 a month.
So that wasn't my first time laughing, Marco.
On rental. $80,000 a month on property rental across the country for Odell Beckham Jr.
Hey.
So that's
real estate's usually a better
$960,000
venture. What's he doing?
For property rental. Odell, buy a house. I paid rent for like a year, and I was like, screw that shit.
If the if this is true, and people aren't going to want to hear it, but if this is true, it speaks to the fact that there may be some reservations about giving this person a long-term deal, and that may be the reason why this thing is not done like everyone else's contract who is in a similar situation, who is at the end of their rookie deal, who has put up good numbers, who deserves another long-term deal. There's certain guys that those deals have been done already. And Odell's isn't. And he may be the most gifted out of any of the players that have already signed. So what's the reason why he's not signed? The injury was not an ACL. It wasn't his knee. It wasn't. Right. He didn't rip his Achilles. It's something that he should heal from. He's a young man. He should heal 100%. So don't tell me that it's the injury. He's obviously made progress. You assume he's going to be 100% by the time the season starts. You have no reason not to believe that, as long as he doesn't, I don't know, break an ankle while he's fucking in a dance-off on a Tuesday night at fucking Club Vertigo in Miami or some shit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah. So as long as that doesn't happen, then I mean, what's the reason why this guy doesn't have his long-term deal?
Hold on.
Can anyone give me a reason? Can anyone give me a logical reason why he doesn't have it?
Maybe. Let's see who this is. 203. What's going on, 203?
Hey guys, I just want to put this out there. I know the draft's over, but this has been bothering me. I think Quentin Nelson was the obvious choice at 2, with Will Hernandez coming up on 34. I just want to hear your guys' opinion on that.
Back-to-back O-line?
Well, the only thing with that is, if you took Quentin Nelson at 2, it would have thrown off the whole rest of the draft. Some other offensive linemen went earlier. There was a chance Will Hernandez would have went in the first round if you did that. There's no guarantee that we got him in the second.
I think I would have the same problem with taking the guard at 2. No disrespect to the caller or Nelson, but I think I would feel this the exact same way if we took a guard at 2 as opposed same as a running back at 2. Like, to me, despite how valuable or how good that single player is, which is undisputable when speaking about Barkley or Nelson, you're not talking about their talent. What you're talking about, value to their position. You're playing in the salary cap era. You have to take these things into consideration, especially at certain positions. And the Giants didn't do that. And I think that guard would have been very similar to running back. I think you would have had a very similar situation. Now, I think that ideally, if you could have traded back to where we were talking about before the draft, 2 through 7, and ended up with Nelson, and you acquired more picks, and then you took Hernandez there, yeah, I mean, all for it. But, at 2, Not saying I don't like Nelson, but I don't think I would have taken him there.
No, and I think taking Will Hernandez in the second round just proved to me why you don't take Quentin Nelson at 2. Because Quentin Nelson is better than Will Hernandez, but he's not by far that much better than Will Hernandez.
Just to play devil's advocate, then that's why I'm going to say when you can get Juice at 59, that's why you don't take Barkley at 2. But go ahead.
But Juice is a head case.
Yeah, first of all, there's going to be stuff coming out.
And then who else could I have gotten, Justin? Could I have gotten Curran Johnson?
Nick Chubb. Could I have
gotten Nick Chubb? Could I have gotten Curran Johnson? Could I have gotten Rashard Penny? I mean, there's if you traded back to Buffalo, you could have.
Rashad Penny got overdrafted. I'm going to tell you that now.
I don't think he did, bro.
He absolutely did.
I don't think he did. He's a dual threat that gets yards he falls forward. There is something to be said in the NFL for falling forward. Like, you need to be able to get more yards, bro. Like that extra 1 or 2 yards after contact, that is huge. Penny was number 1.
Jacob.
He was number 1 in all of the running backs in the draft in yards after contact. Out of the 58 running backs, Penny was number 1. He averaged 3.43 yards after contact, behind the line of scrimmage. Do you know where Barkley averaged on that stat?
It's okay. Now he's behind the giant.
But are you at least curious?
It was down
57 out of 58.
But this is what I'm going to say about Penny. If they use him as a bell cow running back, I'm going to tell you right now, he's absolutely going to be a bust.
Guys, nobody gets used as a bell cow running back anymore. Not even the bell cow running backs, besides Le'Veon Bell, get used as the bell cow running backs.
Well, that's where I'm going to tell you right, Barkley, you're going to be a bell cow running back.
Name me the bell cow running backs. Name me the bell cow running backs in the league. Ezekiel Elliott, Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell, David Johnson, Fournette. But they use other guys. But they use other guys. He's not a 3-down back. But he's not a 3-down back. He doesn't play every down. They use him on first and second down. They use him with the lead a lot. They limit his carries early. So in reference to Fournette, they are worried about his carries. He is injury prone. He is a big guy. So they are limiting his carries in some respect and how they call their plays and stuff like that. So can you really call him a bell cow running back? You know, he played great with the lead last year in the fourth quarter when he was wearing defenses down.
Well, he was getting between 20 and 30 handoffs, a game. That's what I was.
But you can also do that with Fournette because of the fact that maybe he doesn't catch as many balls.
Well, I agree with that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So Barkley, right from that, if you look at Barkley, he's going to catch more balls. So right there, you're going to want to limit.
No,
you're going to want. There it is. So
I'll just slip it in.
You're going to want to limit his carries to some respect. So, like I said, I mean, I understand how talented Barkley is, but I mean, if you want to make the argument of not as talented or,
I think Barkley.
You're using guys. You're not using the like Juice and Chubb and all these guys. They're all going to be part of rotations. The two teams that were in the Super Bowl had running back rotations.
Well, as far as talent-wise, I think you hit the nail on the head on the first one. I think Barkley's going to be used like Le'Veon Bell is. He's getting moved all over the formation.
Oh,
He's just going to get the ball in his hands and all.
Can he be used like? Hold on, though. Hold on, man. Hold on, bro. Because that's a bold statement. Like, are you willing to tell me?
Back after this.
Yeah, seriously. Because that's a loaded statement to say that he can come in and there are games where Le'Veon Bell carries the ball 30 plus times, 28 times, 29 times, consecutive weeks. Justin will tell you that I love fantasy football. I'm all over it. I've had Le'Veon Bell on my team the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Le'Veon Bell does – they feed him the rock. Can Saquon Barkley be that and catch 6 to 7 passes? I don't know. I want to see it. Let me see it.
But I'm with you.
But make
as
no
far as
mistake
I'm
about it.
You got to take number 2. You should.
Right. Make no mistake about it. They took him at 2. They're gonna let him try. They're gonna see what happens.
Exactly. I mean, and that's it. Like they're tied in. I mean, that's it. It's Saquon. I mean, it's Saquon, Eli, and Odell, and let's roll. And they better be right. You know, we've said this. If you're not going to go quarterback and think long term, then you are standing on the ledge for the next 2 years. And you better be right.
You mean
because one thing about running backs is you need to win with them early because you don't want to pay them late.
But here's the thing, and this is the thing that I don't think that I've heard anybody really say. You know, I know that I have been critical about Sam Darnold. I don't really think that he is like the second coming of Jesus like some people do. However, I will say that all of that aside, if we had taken him at 2, I mean, we're definitely taking a running back in the second round, I think. And then you're definitely
you probably should wait to the 3rd round, honestly. But
and then you're not getting Hernandez in the second round because I think that the way that they had running backs ranked, there were certain running backs that were going to be available in the 3rd round. But
why did you have to take? You could have taken a running back. You could have taken a running back instead of I don't know, DJ. How about Laletta? I mean, I don't know.
Laletta. You can shut your mouth.
You love Davis. You love Davis Webb too. I mean, and you know we love Davis Webb. We love Kyle Laletta. We love anyone who puts on a blue jersey.
Webb.
Oh yeah.
I don't love Davis Webb.
I mean,
you love Davis Webb.
I never said I love Davis Webb. I said I'd like to see what Davis Webb is.
The Webb Slinger.
Webb Slinger. Because I want to see him. He has a great arm. He throws the ball really hard. No one's disputed that.
Are you not entertained?
I wanted to see what Webb is so we knew if we needed to take a quarterback. No one ever said they loved Webb. We just wanted to see what the fuck he was before we were in the situation to take a quarterback.
You love Webb.
I don't know what Webb is. How can you love someone that you don't know what they is? I like his potential.
Oh, yeah.
Just like I like Laletta's potential. But I don't know what he is on the NFL level. I think he's made strides with his footwork, but do I know he's going to be able to complete a pass when he's got a defensive lineman about to fucking destroy him? No, I have no clue.
That's
called an interception, jerk-off.
And the preseason, please, dude, you're going against second stringers. Like, he had an opportunity. You had an opportunity to see him when the bullets were flying against real competition. That is so valuable, and you let that slide out the window.
I'll just slip it in.
I love Webb's potential.
He would have been playing with second stringers. It's just the other team wouldn't have been.
But
that's what I want to see.
I see what you're doing, Tim.
That's what I want to see.
The way that they had the running back draft class rated out, I don't think that they wanted to wait around until the 3rd or 4th round to take a running back. And so I think if they take a quarterback, they take a running back in the 2nd round, and then we have a quarterback that's not going to play and a running back that doesn't have an offensive line.
Whatever. Listen, here's the thing. Okay, if you didn't want to take Darnold, the second coming of Jesus, which I don't think he is, I just think he's a 20-year-old kid that has.
He can't even handle the snap from under the center.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Justin! Go back to Eli Manning's first mini camp and go read about what Eli Manning did at his first mini camp.
All you got to do is correct.
Go read about the ducks. Go read about the drops. Go read about the drops from the shotgun that he couldn't even catch the ball, that he was fumbling the snap to. He's a baby. You take a kid at 2 because he has potential. And he has potential.
I never said that.
And that's why you take him. He's a baby, 20 years old. No one thinks he's the second coming of Christ. But if you would have sold me on any of the quarterbacks at 2, at least at 2, it's a quarterback. It was never about Darnold.
That's how you break a franchise.
No, it's not. That's how you run a franchise. That's how you run a franchise. We're going to find out if this is how you break a franchise.
Hold on
They're about to pay Odell Beckham Jr. Go.
What you're telling me is, you're just telling me what you just said was that you don't care who the quarterback was, just take a quarterback at 2. If you take a quarterback
that's not what I said.
In this mediocre class?
That's not a mediocre class, Justin. Justin, just because you think it's a mediocre class, it is not a mediocre class. It's not.
No, okay. You know why? Because Kyle Lauletta brought it up.
Yeah. The only good quarterback was Lauletta, right? The only one that had potential.
You was the only one.
Please go watch. You know what? Go watch the YouTube video after the draft. Okay, of Shermer and Gettleman when they're sitting at the podium and they're answering questions, and realize that you're at a very dangerous time right now, Giant fans, because Gettleman makes a comment that no one paid attention to, and you can go fucking find it, and if you don't want to, Justin, I'll go find it and I'll send it to you. And he says there, and he's talking about the quarterbacks or the running back, and he talks about this and he talks about that, and I think he let a little something slip that nobody asked to follow up on, and I almost threw my fucking phone across the room because it's negligence by the reporters that they didn't follow up on.
What did he say?
He says, when you talk about quarterbacks and running backs and the value and this and that, he goes, I say what I want to say, and a lot of guys upstairs in the room, they roll their eyes at me. And it led me to believe the way he diverts directly from that comment, it leads me to believe a little bit that maybe we're getting a little bit of spin. Maybe it was all Mr. Gettleman, and maybe there were some people there that thought, maybe we should take Darnold.
Listen, I think there absolutely were some people in the room, and to be honest with you,
so don't sit here and tell me that Darnold wasn't an option. I mean, you sit here like Darnold wasn't a commodity. He's a 20-year-old kid that go read Peter King. 20 guys had him as the top quarterback. 20 teams had him on the top quarterback on the board. My frustration lies in at number 2, the value of the pick. If you're telling me it's a running back or a guard, at the value of that pick of number 2. To me, to shut off your phones for a running back is a little ridiculous. And if some people upstairs were rolling their eyes at the decision, then I don't know. Maybe I'm not fucking crazy. And what I've said is you better be right.
Listen,
you better be right about not only Saquon, but you better be right about the team's window to win right now.
Listen, this is
man.
What I want.
I'm 40.
This is what I want to say to you. This is what I want to say to you about the draft room.
I drive a Dodge Stratus. You got to get that one.
All right. I completely think that it's healthy within a draft room to have open conversation and to have guys that want you to take any number of players and will argue for their guy in the draft room. If I was,
as long as they're not drinking the Kool-Aid,
that's what I would want in my room. Is I would want people that are going to disagree with me. But I will tell you this: I do not believe for 1 second that Gettleman did not make a pick that was not signed off on by certain people in the organization. There are certain people in that organization whose evaluation of talent and potential picks is weighted higher than others. Just like in any other organization, any other industry.
Or you can realize the fucking truth. Or you can realize the truth. Okay? You know, you can sit here and you can put the big blue spin on it, or you can realize the truth. You can look at your little snapshot draft that they got the best player in your little toy, and it's going to be so much fun for 3 to 4 years, and we're going to sell so many jerseys, and we're not going to win a lot of games because the defense is terrible. So it's going to close Eli's window, and you guys are going to be so pissed 5 years from now, and I cannot wait. But the funny thing is that you do not realize that what really is going on here is this. Mara, last year, at this whole Eli debacle thing, was the one who put the ball in motion and put word out to go find me a quarterback. Someone, find me a quarterback, he told them. Go look at all the quarterbacks. When do we see the young kids at quarterback? I want to see quarterbacks. John Mara, on the record, sent out word.
Yeah. But listen.
You snowflakes go crazy when Eli gets benched. Absolutely crazy when Eli gets benched. The former players were going to show up on the sidelines and wear his jersey. It was anarchy. People were throwing themselves from the roof, not our Eli.
Not for Gino.
And Mara put his tail between his legs. And when it came to he threw the other two under the bus, he made the safe choice. Obvious choice at general manager, somebody who believed that the window was still open. And the pick that they made reveals the short-sightedness and the fact that this ownership is trying to win another ring for Eli Manning. There's right or wrong, good, bad, or indifferent, agree or disagree. That's the fucking truth. They are making decisions. They are making decisions. I'm going to say two things and then I'll stop. They are making decisions. They are making decisions based on resumes, sentimental value. They did it. And they did it when they hired McAdoo. It was a hire specifically for Eli Manning. It was supposed to be Eli's fit. Here comes Shermer. Everything they are doing is trying to get him a ring. And, gentlemen, here it is. You better be right because it's all on the two-time Super Bowl champion now.
Have fun storming the castle.
That's the truth, gentlemen.
Tim, you want to go ahead?
I saw the article today. It literally, and I don't know why I didn't send it in the chat. Your boy, Phil Simms, says Eli is absolutely capable of hoisting a third Lombardi trophy.
Yeah, if he had the right team around him. If he was in Jacksonville, totally agree with you. 100%.
And he said this team's ready to go, and Eli could play for quite a few years. This is your boy Phil.
Yeah. What I'm saying is nothing against Eli Manning. I've always said the same thing about Eli Manning. He's the greatest quarterback this franchise has ever seen. He plays unbelievable in big spots. He has ice in his veins. But, Giant fans, the knock on Eli Manning is he is not one of the upper echelon QBs when you talk about guys that are able to mask deficiencies of your team. He is not one of those guys that will carry you through a 16-game season. What he is a guy that if you surround him with a really good football team, a solid defense, a good running game, a solid offensive line to protect him, set him up with play-action pass. If you can do that and you get him in the playoffs and you get him in the big spot because of the team you have, I'll roll with Eli. My question, gentlemen, is if you are looking at this roster because they've added Nate Solder and Saquon Barkley and saying Super Bowl, I don't know what the fuck you're smoking. and I'm just, that's just.
I'm saying playoffs.
Hold on.
I'm saying playoffs.
Tim, go ahead, and then I'm going to say something.
First of all, I'm going to, again, this team does not have to be in full rebuild. This is why. Yes, they do need depth, and I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree with
Tim, they're making decisions to win a Super Bowl this year.
No, but I understand that. But they should, though, because the fact is, all the talent is young.
Your team's not good enough, Justin.
Other than Eli, everybody on this team is young. They're all young. Brandon Marshall got cut. Eli doesn't even have a partner. Is in the old guys? Guys,
you're talking about the toys. You know what the Giants have? Here's what the Giants have.
Hold on.
The Giants have all the specs of a really nice car. They got the fucking sunroof. They got the awesome radio system. They got the fucking navigation system that'll get you to Mars and back. What they don't have is the engine, the transmission, all that good shit.
I want to ask you a question. James. Just say yes or no. Did you enjoy going 3-13?
No, not at all. But
you think? Hold on.
No,
hold on.
not. But
that's all I need to hear.
It revealed everything I needed to know about the roster. It needs to be rebuilt. It's broken.
If we used our premium pick on a quarterback that, because of the mindset of the franchise, was not going to play any meaningful snaps this year, would not get into the game unless Eli was hurt or we were in the same situation as last year. And
what's the problem?
You're forfeiting the opportunity to improve your roster that has an infinite number of holes.
I realize the fact. I realize the fact that my roster has an infinite number of holes. I realize the fact that I'm not going to plug all of those in with a running back at two. I realize the fact that I'm in a position where if I don't like this, Justin, but I can get a running back off a garbage heap. I can get a running back off a garbage heap. I can get a running back off a garbage heap. You better hope you don't have a quarterback. You better hope quarterback's not a hole. You better hope quarterback's not a hole. You better hope quarterback's not a hole.
But Sam Darnold's not filling it this year.
Justin, listen to what you're saying, though. You just said my roster has an infinite number of holes. How is Saquon Barkley filling all of those holes? So while it's a really nice piece, I still have a ton of holes, and those holes, one can argue, are a lot more valuable than the running back piece.
Fine.
Well, as far as all these holes,
you think?
As far as all these holes,
with third and fourth and fifth round picks,
I'll just slip it in.
You hope so.
The hole is depth.
The
hole is not starters.
He took the second best guard in the draft. He took the second best guard in the draft after adding a Super Bowl winning left tackle and adding a starting guard for the number one rushing team in the league last year.
Okay.
So he upgraded 3 offensive line positions with premium talent.
Okay.
And then he spent the rest of the draft.
That Omaha guy is premium talent. Okay.
He was
Nate Solder, who's been playing for fucking 12 years, who's never made a Pro Bowl, is premium talent. He's a solid left tackle.
Super Bowl champion.
He's a solid left tackle. Because he has Tom Brady. He's a solid left tackle. He's a good left tackle. He's a good left tackle, Justin. Don't blow him. He's a good left tackle.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
He's never made a Pro Bowl. He's not an all-star. He's not and he's an older guy. I mean, come on.
He's still an upgrade, period.
He's still, no one's saying he's not, Tim. I agree. He is an upgrade, 100%.
Yes.
But look at the player. Solid player. Going to show up every week. Going to give you all he got. Solid guy. But don't tell me he's not beatable. Because I've seen Brady take some shots from that blind side over the course of the last couple of years. And were they all Solder's fault? No, it's the NFL. Shit happens. But it's Nate Solder. It's the same player that the Patriots had, and he's in the Giants uniform now.
I'm going to leave you this question. what would Giants need to do? Like, if you could do anything you want right now, what would need to do? You're like, Giants are fixed.
Right. No, wait. This is important. No, I don't think you can. I think the mistake is what they're. I think the mistake that they're making is thinking that they can fix it in a short-term window. I think that the roster needs.
Do you want them to not try and win?
I'd like to hear Justin. You rebuild through. First of all, you don't take a quarterback if you tell him you're trying to win now. So make up your fucking mind. You got a Corsi's number. Call him. Tell him to call a senile buddy and figure out what the fuck is going on there.
Of course, he signed off on Saquon.
Okay. Of course he did. Everybody, all the Giants, they all circle jerk each other. Please. Of course he did. Everybody in the inner circle. It's old fashions for everybody. Great pick. Wait a
second. So this is.
I never said that.
I'm afraid to ask this question, but I'm going to ask it because I feel like it'll be good radio. All right?
Here we go.
We know what the Giants did this offseason. We know that James has a lot of questions about it. So
huge.
I'm going to say, like, given taking the head coach and the general manager out of it, but say you were the general manager and you had a blank slate, what would you have done that you think the Giants would be in a better position to compete
this is an easy question.
Than they are currently?
What an easy question. I trade the pick. Easy question. I trade the pick. For whatever anyone wants to offer me if I'm not willing to take a quarterback at 2, because I need picks to rebuild my roster. And if it's not an ideal trade and I'm not sold on the quarterback at 2, then I'm trading it because the value of not taking a quarterback, or I'm taking Chubb, or I would have taken Chubb because of the fact that he would have been the 25th highest paid player at his position and probably hitting his prime at the same time that I'm going to be questioning the fact if I want to pay Barkley after running him into the ground for the first 4 years of his career. See, I would have been looking at the roster saying, I'm 3-13. That's a lot of fucking holes. I'm paying a 37-year-old guy who I love $22 million. What I would have done is I would have been on the phone with anyone around the league who wanted to give me picks for Eli Manning, and I would have relinquished my salary cap that way. And then I would have probably taken a quarterback, most likely, if that was the case. And I probably still wouldn't have started that quarterback right away. How about that, Justin? I probably would have brought in a fucking a veteran minimum guy to bring in so I could groom my young quarterback or some shit like that. But I wouldn't be thinking in terms of I'm 3-13. I'm going to go to the Super Bowl next year.
Yeah,
it's never been done before, ever.
Here's the thing about that.
Ever.
Listen. That's all wonderful, and I applaud you. Because I know you, and I know that you would have the stone
playoffs
to do those things. Because
I fucking would. I would fucking.
You don't give a flying fuck.
No, I don't.
And I say that with all due respect.
Mm-hmm.
However, what I want to stress to you is, we just went 3-13. So if you think that, like,
if that's not a shot across the bow, what is?
We just went 3-13, and as a result of the way that the quarterback position was handled, it caused a shitstorm in the biggest media market in the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
Our star player,
whose fault is that?
God knows what with Cocors on video.
Whose fault is that?
All right. So if you. I just don't think that if you
2-minute warning.
If you take the quarterback, or you take the defensive end, or you trade the quarterback for an infinite number of picks or whatever, like,
guys,
for as much as you say you better be right about taking the running back.
You
if you trade Eli Manning, you better be right. Like,
Yeah, but you're betting. But if you trade Eli Manning, it's send. But if you trade Eli Manning,
we're
it's
going to trade our two-time Super Bowl
different though, Justin. Because if you trade Eli Manning, you send the signal that we know we're not going to win this year, and the pressure is now off of you to win this year.
But nobody wants that. We just made the playoffs the year before.
Because they think that they're close enough to win a Super Bowl. They are not. They are not.
I disagree with you.
Yeah.
I just flat out disagree with you.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Oh, Eli, all on his shoulders.
Eli, NFL MVP.
We're gonna find out, gentlemen. My thing is, you're paying your 37-year-old quarterback. See, I think I'm thinking more. You're in a dangerous spot, and you guys are all looking at these toys, these very nice toys, and you're getting very excited about your toys. But what you're not realizing is that in the NFL today, you're about to be paying a prima donna wide receiver anywhere between $16 to $20 million a year, and you have a rookie running back that's being paid right now, the fourth highest paid running back in the league, and he hasn't taken a snap at the NFL level. Gentlemen, if you don't think that they better be fucking right immediately, you got another thing coming, because it's going to get very difficult to field a team with, if you re-sign Eli and you're convinced that his window now is 3 to 4 years, okay, because now you're paying him $20 million for the next 3 to 4 years while you're paying diva wide receiver 18 to 20. This is a dangerous situation. And you could recognize it, or you could be, oh yeah, Kool-Aid guy. And they better fucking be right, man. Because if 2 years from now they don't have a Super Bowl,
oh yeah,
we're not going to be saying, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Listen. This is the other thing that I want to
I
ask.
never said that.
If they weren't right, all right? If they weren't right and we have a 5-win season this year, a 4-win season this year,
so pissed.
Whatever the case may be.
They would take quarterback.
You're so pissed.
You don't think that they'll take a quarterback in the first round next year? And then
I think that here's my thing. Here's my thing. I want to see
Odell Beckham Jr.
What are the quarterbacks that look like this year? How do they look? Because some of these kids are going to play. And I got news for you. The class next year. We knew about these kids.
We know about these kids, but
that's a whole year out.
We knew about Darnold and Lamar Jackson and all these kids. We were waiting. We knew what the class was going to be. We were watching these kids. The class next year leaves something to be determined, to the point where I'd be surprised maybe if one kid goes in the first round next year.
Hear me on this, and this is important.
I've seen two.
If we live in a world where Baker Mayfield can play a college football season well enough to become the number one pick, then I'm not convinced that we know who the top-rated quarterback in this draft is.
I think you are underestimating Baker Mayfield, bro. I think to just say that these kids are going to be a bust. I think you're not. The kid makes throws. He's certain players don't show very well in the combine, and their measurables aren't very good. But some guys just
and some players
make plays.
Players don't even show at the combine. Sam Darnold, way to throw!
Oh, Jesus Christ!
You know Sam.
It really cost him. He really fell in the draft. He really fell.
All right, gentlemen, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap it up.
2-minute warning for 15,
20
minutes.
6 minutes. It's going to be like Sunday. We're going to be like 13 minutes over, and then be like, oh, whoops.
Live to play another day, gentlemen. Negative Nation, rock on.
By the way,
we got to make shirts.
I don't want to mention him by name because I don't want to do that to him. But you've created a little buddy on the Facebook page.
I already know who it is. You know what?
Like,
put his name out there.
I feel like it's a Duke Facebook account that Chance created.
Dude, I absolutely think it's James created another Facebook account.
It is really not me. I don't know who you're talking to. It is not me. Who is it?
It's Brian Bennett.
I've seen him. The kid's got a good head on his shoulders.
I'm sure you have seen him. I'm sure you have seen him. Because you're right from your other Facebook account.
That kid's got a bright future. That kid's going places. That's my assistant GM, you fucking cocksuckers. That's what that guy's going to be with me.
Oh, there goes the...
you're not going to bring us in as your assistant GM, then I don't know what we've been doing.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to have my... Yeah, no, you guys are out.
We still arguing in the draft room right now.
You guys are out.
We wouldn't have made a pick wall.
No, I would have had you guys frozen out. You guys would have been in the other room. I would have locked you guys out. I would have had strippers and all that stuff in there. I'd be like, oh, guys, check out that room. Locked you out. I'm like, Darnold, send it in.
No, first of all, I would have been with you. Trade. We're trading all day.
Yeah, we would have been trading and we would have taken Chubb. I would have been trading or I would have been taking Chubb. And you would have had to kill me to do otherwise.
Yeah, and then have fun not winning.
All right, everyone. It's really 2 minutes now.
It is actually 2 minutes.
It is absolutely. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening in to this madness once again. We will be on Sunday, I think. Is Sunday a go? Do we know? Maybe so.
Mother's Day? I gotta do stuff.
Oh, it's Mother's Day.
Right? Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah, that's it.
Sunday
Monday's
is
out.
the
Love your mother.
Actually, the next podcast will be podcast number 100.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
We gotta do a big Wednesday show.
We should have a big Wednesday show. We got to try to get some guys on.
Can we make the 100 show a 3-hour extravaganza? Can we do that?
24 hours.
Can we get we'll be on all day. Can we get Dunleavy on or somebody? We got to try to get some people on. Maybe we'll try to get Myron on or something like that.
You know who we should try to get on? Eric
We're just going to have 200s for people.
Roger Lewis.
I'll tell you right now, Gary Reasons would probably call in if I reached out to him. Gary Reasons would probably call in again to talk some football. He doesn't really follow right now, but if we wanted to talk golden days to some of the newer fans who weren't maybe around when we had Reasons on, maybe we can have him on again and talk some old times.
I want to talk to him anyway because he's a college analyst. I want to talk to him about some of these draft picks.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe we could do that. That's a good – you know what? I'll reach out to him. Maybe I can get him for the 100 show. I'll reach out to him tomorrow. And you know what? Maybe we can have Joe G on too. I reached out to him. I'm going to sit down with him and talk about the draft. So maybe when I talk to him, I'm going to do a Jimmy on the Streets with Joe G. I spoke to him earlier last week. So, all right, we're going. Big Blue, always.
All right, everyone. All right, that's pretty much it. Please, if you haven't done so, hit the subscribe button, put a like on this before we close it out, and talk to you later. Peace.